welcome back. My internet is getting worse, but we soldier on with 39 minutes and 10 seconds to go.
And what we do have for you on our return is a battle for the lead with 0.388 seconds. Currently stepping in the two leaders, David Granz and Jonathan Seville. That gap has closed quite considerably in the only the brief period we were off your screens there. So these guys are really going to have a battle it out, and neither of them have success penalties to be added on their pit stop. So this is really full position at the moment. So with not long to go now till the pit window, it should. Well, this battle should heat up, and actually what David Granz will probably want to do is, he needs to try and work out how he's going to keep him behind, and then how he's going to keep him behind on pit strategy as well. So it's all a lot for him to think about at the moment. Miles Dixon currently 4.7 seconds now off the back of these guys, so the gap has opened up between the top two and the rest of the field. Actually, and has the gap between himself and Gregory Ivanov has opened up as well, 1.4 second between Ivanov and Dixon at the moment. And this battle really is, well, I mean, it's heating up, but the thing is, are we going to see an overtake before the pit window opens and they one of them decides to dart into the pit lane? That is the question. That is the $1 million question. And oh my goodness gracious me, you couldn't put a ruler between the wall there and Jonathan Seville. That was so close. That must have been a centimetre from the wall for Jonathan Seville. David Granz is still in the lead. And actually the battle kind of isn't really as easy as I would have thought for Jonathan Seville after he closed the gap up so quickly. Now up to 6 tenths is the gap. Was about 3 to 2 tenths closer just a lap ago. So these guys are really, really flying out. To be fair to David Granz, currently in a good position championship-wise as well. Current championship leader still, even though they've lost the team's championship lead. It's not a bad place for him to be in, even if he does lose first. And also, I just want to say thank you for following Hope Blue 1317 and Mocha 50. Thank you for the follows, they're greatly appreciated. You're joining us for the 4th round of the oNiD multi-class team, oNiD X QRT oNiD X QRT multi-class Team Cup. And well, this is really heating up now because the GT4 has got in the way of David Granz, and that's going to give an opportunity to Jonathan Seville as we head onto this back straight. And this could be a move for the lead as defending to the inside goes the NSX. Following him right on his rear bumper, probably millimeters away from touching him, is David Granz, and he's going to go around the outside. Is Jonathan Seville? They're going to the brain, so back the inside line is there for David Granz. He's going to push Seville out wide. He's still pushing Seville. Seville has fallen behind. Seville's trying to look for the move. Still, he's trying to fit an Aston Martin into that very, very small gap, and he's just not able to. In the background as well, Gregory Ivanov only 0.199 away from Miles Dixon, so there could be a change from 3rd position as well. So this is all happening at the moment, and again, it's just not close enough for Jonathan Seville. And his next opportunity, maybe if he can stay really, really tucked in behind David Granz here, could be into the next corner after this start-finish straight, this back straight. But it's not close enough yet. So yeah, very nice defense from David Granz, knowing where to place the car, would push Jonathan Seville out wide, and the pit window has opened now at the 35-minute mark, so we'll have to wait and see which one of these two blinks first in terms of pitting. So now, a little bit of a trying to gather up a little bit of the twitch there, I think, for Jonathan Seville. And again, he's closing up, but what he needs now is some GT4s to get in the way. But at the moment, I think the next GT4 may be on this, going into turn 1. I know the next GT4 is going down the straight, mid straight now, and those guys are just entering it, so it's going to be a while before the pair of them do catch up, and that is, as you can see on screen now, Martin Thorpe in the Consecutive Motorsports 56 Aston Martin. And actually, so I'm not sure if I mentioned this, I meant to mention it a minute ago, but not a good race for the current team's championship leaders in the GT4 class. A really off race for the pair of them, so it's going to be a low scoring round as we see our first couple of cars come into the pit lane. So McCullough comes into the pit lane. Lipo Zenchik we're now following. He's currently in a battle with Formato and has Grush up behind as well. Isn't going to come into the pit lane as we see one of the I think that's actually Formato ahead of him has decided to come into the pit lane, so that's going to be some positions gained for Marco Lipo Zenchik as Ralph Vest is now also entering the pit lane after his lap 1 incident. Actually runs a little bit wide onto the grass there. That's not going to be the quickest way into the pit lane, but eventually
with
does
short pit
make
window
it
like
in.
this is that any fight that was on track is no longer on track. There is no fights on track.
Yes,
let's click a random car. Let's go to Ben Brown in the GT4s.
Yeah, so mandatory tyre change in this, and actually something I forgot to mention at the start of the stream, only 5 sets of tyres for the whole weekend, so that's an interesting one for these guys to, well, figure out for the race. As we see, yes, we follow Ben Brown currently in net second position in the GT4s. He's currently 3.2 seconds off of Thiago Hoffmans at the moment. As you can see there, he goes out now as Ben Brown tries to catch up. And yeah, these guys still got, well, 2.5 minutes before they can now come into the pit lane. But actually, yeah, so it's not net. I didn't even know why I said it was net second position. It is second position for Ben Brown. A season best for him after a continuous third place finishes for himself. David Grands has come into the pit lane, and that puts him in a place where he can get maybe a little bit away from Jonathan Seville. But actually, saying that, Seville's into the pit lane now, so we'll have to wait and see where this all figures its way out. Is that him coming out of his pit? Because if that's him coming out of his pit, my goodness, that was a quick stop. But obviously a long pit lane, so we'll have to wait and see. David Grain's now, I think this could be on for, well, I think it is well and truly on for Jonathan Seville to have come out the pit lane in the lead here, as we follow Grands now coming out of the final corner. Where's Seville? Seville's still into the pit. It's still in the pits. He's getting closer to the end, but this is going to be close between the pair of them. There is David Grains now coming into the braking zone. Now he's onto the brakes. Where is? Oh, there's Seville. There's Seville. Seville's coming out of the pit lane. Seville's just jumped him. He's just been able to get out of the pits ahead of him, and that is now into first position goes Jonathan Seville. So David Grains, well, gave it everything he could, but was not close enough. So we'll have to now try and hunt down Jonathan Seville if he does want any chance of winning this one. And he's going to have to try and make those inroads now. Anyway, coming out of the pit lane as well, not much separating Gregory Ivanov and Christian Buckley. Both of them coming side by side as they cross the pit limiter line. And these guys have actually all come out a bit scary. Christian Buckley now running with, by looks of it, both of the Ferraris. So both of them having to serve their success penalties and now actually getting stuck behind the GT4s. This is going to present an opportunity to Christian Buckley, which would be good for them. Currently, only a point separate these pair in the team's championships. So 1 on 286, 1 on 285 points. So if Christian Buckley can get this move done, and considering Matt High is currently ahead of Gregory Ivanov as well, this could be quite tasty for their team's championship as well. As where's David Grand's currently in 7th, but that's going to update. Where's Formato currently running? Down in 16th. So at the end of this round, the team's championship could all come together quite close here. So we'll have to wait, and it could be looking good for Fry guys after not a great qualifying session, but thanks to the success penalty, it could be a nice little round for them to score some points and maybe move up into first into the Teams Championship as Formato currently fighting the sister car of McCullough, and McCullough seems to have the pace at the moment, gives his teammate the flash into the braking zone, and actually there you go, a little bit of team orders maybe going on there as they both seamlessly change position there, and not much of a fight put up by Formato. And now that lets McCullough now go on the hunt for Noel Deutsch. And actually saying that, probably worth mentioning as well, it is now time for the GT4s to enter the pit lane when that all starts. Anyway, Peter Jelinek now up into 5th position, Matt Holman in 6th. Andy King, as I said earlier, drops out of the top 10, but currently, oh actually no, I might be about to eat my words here because it looks like the timing screen's updating, but actually is it, oh, I haven't eaten my words. I was going to say he was back into the top 10 after I said earlier he could probably make his way back in, but sadly has now fallen to 11th. Anyway, Petty Jelinek, so is fighting for 6th position. Currently has a GT4 separating him. That's Alex Parkin or Johnny Ashley there. And he is struggling to get past, and oh well, that could have been interesting there. It's Johnny Ashley, and well, I think that's Elmar Kurbanov nearly went straight into the back of them there, a bit of a blinder. And then actually Johnny Ashley has a bit of a moment there with one of the GT3s trying to go up the inside of him. I know he won't be happy with that move attempted there by one of the Fry Guys cars. I think that might have been Christian Buckley. Elmar Kurbanov now putting Petty Jelinek under a lot of pressure coming into turn 1. He's weaving all over the circuit. He's now going for the inside line on Petty Jelinek. Goes to the inside, and it looks not much of a defense by Petty Jelinek, but he knows he will have the inside for the next section. As we follow Matt High now.
I did not manually switch. It just seems that Kurbanov is blinking a little bit, so we'll stick with
yes, he has had some connection issues. Yeah, he has been having some connection issues, and actually this fight is bringing Christian Buckley into the battle as well, so, and actually is, yeah, it's getting a little bit funny. Matt, also probably worth mentioning as well is, actually no, take it back. Oh, Matt Holman's dropped off a lot from this battle as well. Was running ahead of some of his teammate and some of these guys, but now has fallen down a couple of positions. Anyway, Elmar Kurbanov just goes straight on past there around the outside of Payne. That looks seemingly quite easy, as now he's under a lot of pressure from Christian Buckley. So as I said, Fry Guys, this is looking like a really nice round for them if they can get some points. But the issue is now he has a car separating himself and Elmar Kurbanov. So Kurbanov does have that little bit of a window now to try and open up, trying to open up the field. Anyway, leader of the GT4s in the pit lane of Tergo Hoffmans, as Petty Jelinek still is fighting with these guys as Elmar Kurbanov opens up the gap, and then his teammate actually has quite nicely opened up the gap ahead of him. So it means these guys won't have to worry about being a bit awkward with one another. Anyway, coming into the braking zone, Christian Buckley under a little bit of pressure now from Matt Holman, and actually he's been backed up into Holman by one of the Apex GT4 Aston Martins, as Andy King is not too far back from this battle now either. So as I said, he could make his way back into the top 10, and with these GT4s around on, so it could easily do that. He's going to look to the inside of Matt Holman. Holman closes the door, but still stuck behind one of the GT4s. And, well, in the bet of what way the GT4 would go, it looks like Andy King lost out, and is actually still running side by side, still side by side, still side by side, and luckily has now made his way around the outside of that GT4, and hasn't really been able to make any use of it to get past his fellow competitors. Anyway, Christian Buckley seems to be plateauing pace-wise a little bit here, because he's fallen off the back of Payanek and is under a bit of pressure now from Matt Holman, and it's not really close enough. But maybe if a little mistake from Christian Buckley could try something to start from straight.
And now that the pit window has closed, I can also say that Ben Brown has gotten off the pit strategy, the best 13-second gap to Tergo Hoffmans after the pit stops. So he might be able to run away with this.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Hoffman's had the 20-second success, whereas Brown only had 5 seconds. So the He's kind of like the Chick Hicks of this series. Instead of always coming in second, always comes in third.
Yeah.
So it's this is like his Piston Cup.
I was
him,
on board with
I'd say.
I was on board with him. I was spectating in last week, and he was in 4th place, and he fought for 3rd right until the end. And I congratulated him, saying, "Congratulations, you've got 5 seconds next week again." And he responded, "Ah, damn it."
Yeah, he just I suppose it's good, but then in a certain way quite frustrating because he's just always had the same penalty every week. Anyway, side by side, Alex Parkin and Matt Jordan. Matt Jordan pushed out wide, but has the big American muscle, so may have the power on the quite small UK major netter. Anyway, 5-second penalty for 4:06 in this one. No, not. So we'll have to wait and see who that is. Anyway, one of the Ferraris now running up behind this battle, so that's going to be either Gregory Ivanov or Elmar Kurbanov now being held up. I assume it's Gregory. No, it's Elmar Kurbanov because there's the battle behind him. So Kurbanov being held up a lot there, and actually now going to the inside goes Matt Jordan on the Alex Parkin. So they're running side by side as they enter the over section of the circuit. GT3s, being held up. Oh, he's gone to the inside. Parkin squeezed him to the inside, and he's had to mount the curb. And now he's going to have to put up with GT3s, but then he's going to go around the outside of Parkin, and he's still there, and now they're going to make it 3 wide around the corner. Parkin, he's making corner with Parkin. Parkin's hit the GT3 off the circuit. Goes Matt Holman or Per Jelinek, I think. Actually, no, it was Per Jelinek, I beg your pardon. So Per Jelinek hard into the outside wall there, and that was very messy from all of the involved there. A risky move maybe by Per, and didn't quite pay off. Anyway, Matt Holman's now going to go for a move. He's here. Oh, they're big contact. Butley has gone off the second. Berkeley in the gravel. They're still side by side in the GT4 standing as well. There's Christian Berkeley. And
Right,
my goodness gracious me. Yeah, it's all going on that part of the circuit right there between the two classes, and sadly, the battles becoming a little bit entwined with one another, and sadly Alex Parkin now has lost out to Matt Jordan, wrong Matt, and but now Matt is on the grass, and this may present an opportunity to Alex Parkin, but I think the Chevrolet will just have that straight line advantage to hold on.
And now 2 GT3s in between them as well, so that's going to spread them apart even more. It's not the cleanest line from Alex Parkin there as well.
No, and yeah, no, you can see he's falling off back. Anyway, we can move it up further. We've got Timothy Jadable in the F&M McLaren trying to go around the outside of Christian Buckley. Buckley squeezes him to the wall, still trying to hang on, actually pushes McLaren a little bit out wide there and completely scrubs off all his momentum, so drops him back. And that was actually a very smart move by Christian Buckley, because I assume it will mean he has the straight line speed, and I wonder if it's the McLaren looks very planted and a lot more grippier in this section of the race. So I don't know how they've done their tyre strategies, but that car just looks a lot. Well, the McLarens have looked a lot stronger coming into this second half of the race, and yeah, McCullough and Timothy Jadable is they're both looking quite strong in this stage.
Other than a bit of connections, and you can see Jadable has a bit of a medium ping with a yellow bar, so the car doesn't move as clean as it does, though. I think that's Dan Tomlinson. They're just getting in between them.
Yeah, now side by side as they come onto the back straight. I don't know why I keep trying to add start finish line, because there's a bridge there. I think that's what throws my head. Anyway, they're side by side coming into the braking zone, and it looks like the McLaren's got the move done, and it has, and it's actually going to run a little bit deep though. So this may present another opportunity to Christian Buckley, who's going to have this superior line, and he's going to carry so much more momentum than the McLaren through the S's, and but then has a little bit of a niggle at the rear end, and it just puts him off, and yeah, that's going to have lost him the pace there. So yeah, Timothy Jadable is looks like he's made his way on through, and Christian Buckley, after I said earlier, looked like it could be a good opportunity for FI guys to take some points out of the championship leaders. I think well, it shows how quickly stuff can change, and as you can see, it has changed, and now he's dropped out of the top 10 and now into 12th position, and also behind Andy King. So yeah, it's all sadly changed for poor Christian Buckley. We've only, well, mind-blowingly, we've only got 19 minutes 15 seconds now to go of this race, and yeah, we follow the battle for 11th. Anyway, 5 seconds for car 11.
Car
Oh no,
10.
car 10. Car 10. I knew earlier, that penalty for earlier, Gregory Ivanov has a 5-second penalty, so that is not good. And Alex Parkin, I assume that's for the contact that caused Petty Jelinek and Matt Jordan to make contact, and I think there was a lot of squeezing going on there. So yeah, and another 5-second penalty for car 296. So obviously they're blaming the GT4s for that one. Okay, and then Matt Jordan is currently running in 27th position. So yeah, Nick Manders is currently running up behind Josh Grush and is really trying to make a way through here. He's trying all the alternate lines to try and get past Grush, but sadly that's put him onto the grass. But he's still got a lot of momentum in that Porsche on start finish straight, considering how wide he just went, and he's putting Josh Grush under a lot of pressure here, and Grush knows it because he's gone wide through there, and that's the Porsche is all over his rear tail here. All his rear mirrors, it's just going to be the round lights of a Porsche, kind of looking like a Beetle in his rear mirrors. So he could be mistaken very easily at the moment, as they now come up again. Can he get him into the braking zone here? Looks to the inside, decides against it, and actually he's going to run wide the McLaren again, and the pressure's got too much for Josh Grush, and straight easily through goes Nick Manders. So Manders gets the move done, takes a lot of curb actually on the next corner, which does halt his momentum ever so slightly, but he's still got enough to not have to worry about Josh Grush into turn one. Anyway, around the outside, oh my goodness, is Alex Parkin on Martin Thorpe, and that could have been, if Martin Thorpe had just broke a little bit later, that could have been a little bit of a 180 spin for Alex Parkin, but now squeezes Martin Thorpe to the inside as he tries to stay side by side, and as we stand, they're both still racing with one another, and actually looks like Martin Thorpe is falling back. And actually, as I say that though, Parkin runs wide, that brings Thorpe back in, and they're going to make contact. Parkin tries to close the door, but the Aston Martin was there, and that means Parkin has a little bit of a sideways moment, just about gathers up, but Martin Thorpe, yeah, that's going to be his move done and dusted, because he's now right up the road from Alex Parkin, and well, the next person that Parkin has to worry about is his teammate Johnny Ashley, and if he saw turn one from last week, could be a little bit worrying.
Yeah, I think Johnny Ashley just saw all that happen to Parkin, so I assume there's a bit of disappointment brewing. And from one teammate fight to another teammate fight, we've got Petty Jelinek still on the back of Matt Holman.
Anyway, yeah, these a lot of teammate battles today we're seeing, and I mean, I suppose it makes the voice calls a little bit awkward between the pair of them, because I'm sure at the moment Petty Jelinek and Matt Holman, if they are in the same voice channel at the moment, aren't really saying a word to one another, because they're both having to focus on their individual fights, and sadly those individual fights are against one another as it stands. So these guys, yeah, it's going to be a very, very, very quiet voice channel for the pair of them. But Petty Jelinek is putting Matt under a lot of pressure at the moment, and it looks like he might have run a little bit wide there, but it didn't seem to cost him too much if he did. And we'll have to see. I think that's going to be Swink. Well, actually, no. Yeah, no. I think that's Swinkles running up ahead of them, or it could be Tiger Hoffman's.
I see Hoff on the front of that car there.
Oh, okay, yeah, you've better eyes than me.
He's going off a little bit there. That's just letting Ben Brown pull away even more, because like Hoffman's is P2 and GT4s at the moment. The gap's now 14 seconds.
So yeah, Ben doing a great job in the lead of that to hold on, and we come back to this battle now. We have Angelo in the 228 FNM, nothing, Fear Nothing Motorsports McLaren, having to try and defend from the 5-second penalty, serving Gregory Ivanov, who will need to get past and then try and make a bit of a gap to the McLaren to ensure he holds on to this one. With 14 minutes to go in this race, if this move is done quickly, that 5-second gap can open up. But yeah, he's going to have to try and get this move done and dusted as quick as possible. Oh, he's tried to go for it there. He's tried to go for the inside, but I think Angelo was aware to it and didn't do anything to. No, he did. He put his car in a place where he could defend from Gregory Ivanov, and through this section of the circuit, it's not looking like at the moment that Gregory's really going to put him under any pressure. Actually, saying that though, he's so much stronger on the brakes and so much better on the exit there. So he's actually closed that gap up, and will potentially have an opportunity on the straight, but no, he's cost himself all the speed onto the straight by just running too much across that inside curb, dropping into the dip of the grass. Actually, no, I take it all back, I'm stupid. It looks like Gregory Ivanov is actually going to put him under pressure.
Just going to quickly jump away from this fight real quick, because Miles Dixon's closed the gap up to the Granes in P2. There was a big gap between them before.
Yeah, so Granes
pulling away from Granes through after the pit stops. So Miles Dixon's somehow wormed his way through the traffic to catch up as well.
Yeah, so Granes is, well, yeah, it's current championship leader, but this could be a dominant round for Miles Dixon and Jonathan Seville if this all goes their way. As Miles running up behind him as we go back to Nick Manders against Josh Grush. Grush actually, Manders got past Grush, didn't he? So he's obviously Manders has either made a mistake somewhere or Grush has had the pace to go straight on through. But the thing is, actually now running behind him is, I think, Jonathan Seville, and I think I'm correct in saying that. So these guys are going to be lapped as they now come through the start-finish straight. And, oh, this is going to be awkward. There's a lot of cars all over the place. Some GT4s. I believe Nick Manders' teammate, Lipozenchik, is also running ahead of these guys. Yeah, Lipozenchik is running ahead of these guys. So this battle now is for 16th position, as they've both caught up with Marco Lipozenchik. And, well, this could be awkward again, because it's teammates fighting on circuit again. They can't stay away from each other.
Well, this is it's become a bit of a sandwich here, and just an interesting thing, I noticed that on the flags on the car, there's a Canadian flag, and neither of these drivers are Canadian. I don't think.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't think they are. So that's.
So Lipozenchik's flag is on the right-hand side of the car here. Oh, Nick Manders making a big mistake there.
So yeah, that loses him.
Flag? I could be wrong. You can see it pop up in the bottom right there.
Oh, isn't that? Oh, that flag. Isn't that Slovenian or Slovakian?
Possibly. Yeah, Croatian is a different one. I'm not fully familiar. There's loads of red, blue, and white flags with the crest.
Yeah, I know. I know that's Slovenia or Slovakia because I know. Yeah, I think. Yeah, because we played them in the Euros, but I can't remember which one. Anyway, Marco Lipozenchik up against those guys at the moment. Anyway, Gregory Ivanov is now, well, he's fallen a little bit back to Angelo here, and. Well, he's actually closed up again. It's this section that, so just the final part of the lap he seems a lot stronger in, and is where he actually puts Angelo under that little bit of pressure. And now he's run a little bit wide and start finishing straight though, and he's going to go really up towards the wall. And again, he's not really going to be able to put him under a lot of pressure as they head down into turn one. Anyway, we come back to Josh Grush up against Lipozenchik, and Lipozenchik running a little bit wide, and that's allowed Grush just to close up ever so slightly, but still not make it through. Maybe there could be an opportunity at the end of this start-finish straight again. No, the car shop straight. And now they go down the inside, does Josh Grush, and it looks like the move's done. Actually, maybe not. He's around the outside. Seems to be a quicker line for Marco Lipozenchik, and he's held on. So a nice one there by Lipozenchik. and he will hold on to the position. And poor Josh Grush is in a bit of a sandwich at the moment.
A bit of momentary internet connection issues once more. Not a dropout, but just lagging a bit.
Ooh.
But in the meantime, Nicogentic made a mistake in the final couple corners there, and Nick Manders has gotten back through.
Yeah, and I think they've had a change of name because it's excuse my bad line, but I think that their name is Throwback to Not Fast. Sorry, but they've got the Berkeley livery, and I think that's new for this week's race. So maybe a change of name for them this race. Because on the official, on the team sheet they've got different names. Well, my printed out team sheet, so it might have been updated on the other one. But yeah, an updated name for them, those guys. But I'm actually loving that livery. It reminds me a lot of the kind of BBC. I've been doing some work with the BBC recently. It kind of reminds me a lot of their graphics. Anyway, Miles Dixon now running up behind David Granez in third position. Will want to try and make it a 1-2 for himself and Jonathan Seville for a strong debut result for the pair of them. David Granez will not want that to happen. He will want to take second position and not be shown up by these two new arrivals in the series, I assume, but does have some traffic in the GT3 class to deal with, so they're not going to be that easy to overtake. So this could be a moment where David Granez is backed up into Miles Dixon. So we'll have to wait and see how this all plays out. And Granez is going to get a good run onto the straight compared to the rest of them. Miles Dixon actually some sparks to fly there. Granez goes to the outside of, I believe that is Nick Manders. Oh god, that big contact! Oh, into the wall goes. Oh, he's sideways. He's into the wall in a big way. This is a NASCAR style accident. He's not, but he's just about made the corner for Nick Manders. A little bit of, I think there's a little bit of a lag in that accident as well. But that looks quite interesting. I'm impressed he made the corner, in all fairness.
That one looked very interesting. I'm just going to go in the interior and watch the replay of that one.
So let's see what happens. So he goes to the inside. Oh, and then they come together and bang, into the wall, sideways. Oh my goodness, hits the wall again. And yeah, I'm very impressed he made the corner there, because that could have been so easily straight on stage left exit. And actually, Josh Grush has let Nick Manders back past. So obviously, I assume felt that was his fault. So it seems to a sensible spot, just let the Porsche through. And all this has actually just helped Ralph Vest, who's now moved up ahead of Lipozenchik into 18th position. So, yeah, Ralph Vest and, not great for the Berkeley guys. And Ralph Vest really, after being involved in a turbulent incident on lap 1, making his way very nicely back up through the field, as now he sets his sights on the fellow McLaren of Josh Grush, not associated teams though. So we'll have to see how this all plays out as they come onto the straight, when we have some GT4s all intertwined in this as well. And actually that's going to hold up Josh Grush, so Ralph Vest is going to be under some pressure. How's the Miles Dixon fight going at the moment between him and Grains?
It is quite funny because all the fights are on the same part of track at the moment. And just lapping Ben Brown there, making their way through cleanly.
Yeah, look very clean. And actually this could be, Miles Dixon is right on the rear of Granez here. And with 5 minutes to go, needs to try and get this move done. He may have an opportunity at the end of this straight. Actually, no, it looks a bit closer from behind, but was not close enough to really attempt anything there. So we'll have to wait a little bit longer, but does seem to have the number of David Granez as it stands. And as they now come out of this section of the infield back onto the oval again. It's not going to be close enough to try anything into here, but maybe if he gets a nice little slingshot onto the start finish straight, that could be an opportunity into turn one. We'll have to wait and see as they now make their way through the final couple of sessions. A lot wider line there for David Granez, and it just seems to set him up a little bit better for this final corner, which is why Miles Dixon is not able to really attempt anything onto the start finish straight. But actually saying that, he does seem to be a little bit faster down the straight, but he's not going to be close enough to really attempt anything as David Granez closes the door again and maybe runs a little bit wider compared to Miles Dixon, but a lot more curved in by Miles Dixon. And again, it's just, it seems like they have their, it seems like one of those things where you're faster in one part of the circuit, but then David Granez has enough of a speed advantage in another part of the circuit that it kind of balances this battle out, and it makes it hard for Miles Dixon to actually make it past in the parts of the circuit that he can overtake. Anyway, to the outside goes Greg Ivanov on Angelo. Angelo will sits the car on the apex of the corner and is, well, made it nigh on impossible for Greg Ivanov to make his way through. And again, he's still behind, twitching, really pushing that Ferrari to try and make his way through. The issue is, he's still got to make a 5-second gap once this move is done. So to be honest, for Angelo, at one stage, it might be just worth letting him pass because it just means that he's going to get a position anyway, and it kind of eliminates that risk factor that he is going to lose the position. But saying that though, they are racing drivers, I suppose, and orange and black flag being waved there, so someone's got being waved in. I have
seen that being waved a few times, so I don't think it's anything to do with actual damage. It might just be the light bug kind of thing, because you will also get Meatball flagged for not having your lights turned on, which we've seen a few times during the stream tonight where it looks like drivers don't have the lights turned on, but they definitely do.
Yes.
We've had the change for position, side by side into turn one.
Around the outside goes Miles Dixon, and it's moved on. Miles Dixon has made his way through up to second position, and it's a 1-2 for Jonathan Seville and Miles Dixon on debut in the oNiD X QRT Multi-Class Team Cup. And David Granez just needs to try and stick on the back for the next 2 minutes to try and pressure Miles Dixon into some sort of mistake, or he needs to try, well, soon, maybe onto this back straight to try and get a retaliation move done. But the thing is, he's just not got the pace of the Aston Martin driver. So through goes Miles Dixon, coming on to the start. I said it again. Going on to the back straight. Can David Granez go for anything? He looks to the inside, then goes back to the racing line. Knows he's not close enough to get the move done, but he's actually still right on the rear of Miles Dixon. Miles Dixon just needs to shake him as quickly as possible. With 1 minute 29 seconds to go in this race, the Plus Sim Sport car is now coming on to the start from this straight. Start from this straight? God, my head, it's too hot today, everyone, sorry. As we come in final section, and David Granez is actually not really close enough. Just seems to take a tighter line compared to what he usually would through there, and going on to the start from this straight, he's not going to be close enough. He actually runs onto the grass, runs a little bit wide, which will mess up some of his momentum, and I don't think he's got that. He's not got a strong enough slipstream, I don't think, to send it. I mean, it'd be a send and a half if he sends it in the final minute here, but he's he thinks about it. He definitely thinks about it. Goes back to the racing line though. Miles Dixon does go a little bit defensive into there, which does compromise him ever so slightly, but not a lot. And yeah, this looks like move done.
There's one thing about the Astons here tonight. If you told me 2 years ago when we were doing the Indianapolis 24 hour for the first time, is that the Aston is the fastest car in a straight line on track at the moment. All Astons are sharing the speed trap. Seville, Dixon, Holman and Jelinek, all with 268 kilometers an hour. They're all the fastest cars on track. You told me that 2 years ago, I would not have believed you, because the Aston back then was slow, but a bit of a GT4, bit of traffic there just held up Miles Dixon just a little bit. It's letting Granez get a little bit closer.
But then GT4 traffic again kind of stopping Granez going around the outside, and I think that could possibly be Ben Brown. Oh, actually, it was a Luke shot.
I can't see the numbers on the side. There is no numbers on the side.
Yeah. Okay. It could be Ben Brown, or it could be a coincidence that Swinkles and Luke Sherlock are running together on the circuit. We'll have to see. Anyway, this battle's still heating up, and David Granez has not given up on this one. Anyway, coming across the line to win, oNiD X QRT round 4 of the multi-class team cup is Jonathan Seville. Congratulations to Jonathan Seville, a strong debut in the series, and well, he's been strong in everything he's done. Anyway, Miles Dixon crosses the line for second position. Not enough today by David Granez. Has to sell for third to our drivers championship leader. Ben Brown wins in GT4 after a string of third place finishes. Congratulations to him. That is a great finish. Charlie Hoffmans will have to sell for another second after winning last time out. No sign of Alex Shahabi though, so this will be first time podium for Luke Sherlock, and he's made contact, and he's always just about giving it up. That could have been a mistake as well for the Ferrari, but it's a 1-3 for Sherlock Automotive RS oNiD. So a great result for them on a day that Consexus have had, well, horrible time. Aidan Oak will cross the line now, and as I said, Andy King, he could finish in the top 10, and he does. Andy King finishes in the top 10 with PS UK. Good result from him, holding off Timothy Jad Ubel. And Daniel Thomason trying all he could to try and catch up with Mike Thorpe in the end. Jeez, just get the pole on, but it hasn't got enough to take it to Mike Thorpe. So Mike Thorpe will finish in 5th position in the GT4s. Noel Doyd will come across the line in 13th in the GT3s. Rachel Thompson into the pit lane. Formato will come across the line in 15th position. Not great for him considering Granez up in 3rd. And Johnny Ashley will come across the line to run us out in 30th. But in 1, 2, 3, 4, lower down the class. Here we come to Jonathan Seville, race winner for today. Great result for those guys on the debut and the championship, running side by side. Nice photo opportunity and a little bit of a love tap between the pair of them as they make their way into the pit lane. Obviously chuffed probably with that after one round, and that's it for the racing today.
To have gone into this race saying Jonathan Seville's probably going to win and Miles Dixon's probably going to be at the front as well would be a rather predictable thing to say, but the results and how it came to be is certainly not very predictable, and was certainly a lot of fun. Some great racing.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more, and a lot cleaner racing as well. We've seen the first couple of rounds. There's been a lot of contact and a lot of big instances, but that was predominantly quite a clean race from everyone. So that was really nicely done by everyone, and yeah, it was a good multi-class race to watch with a lot of fair racing.
Absolutely, as well as Ben Brown getting a win finally, as well as Luke Sherlock in third place as well. So that's a 1 and 3 for the Sherlock Automotive team.
And I think that's the first time out of the first 4 rounds that it's not been Alex Shahabi, Tiago Hoffmans, and Ben Brown on the podium. I think that's the first time we've had someone else.
I did hear it was quite like that.
Yeah, they were really dominating it. But yeah, great result for Luke Sherlock and for himself and Ben Brown in the team's championships. So that'll be good for them.
Absolutely, and I'll try to end the stream on a high before my internet goes again. But thank you everyone for joining us for round 4.
I want to say a massive thank you for Trinket as well for stepping in and doing the stream for Aidan, who couldn't be here today. So yeah, it was a pleasure as usual, Trinket.
Absolutely, and not sure what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, but I'm going to have to poke some people. But yes. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next week. It should be back to you and Aidan for round 5.
Yeah, and actually, where will we be for round 5? Let me just have a quick look. See, we'll be at Zandvoort for round 5 of the championship. Another 60-minute round. Obviously, we'll have the 2 90-minute rounds, and the final 90-minute round will be at Mazzano for the final round of the season. So a string of 60-minute rounds now, with Zandvoort up next.
Absolutely. Well, look forward to seeing that, and we'll see you all there next week. As well
Yeah,
as
we'll see
everything
you-
else happening on oNiD Racing, like the Mondays AC and such.
Yes.
Thursday amateurs.
And I believe Tuesday is Automobilista, the
Yes,
club,
of course,
the club
yeah.
racing championship.
I had
So
good fun
yeah,
in that one last week.
yes. So yeah, everyone get involved, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the stream. We'll be back for round 5. Well, no, I'll be back for round 5 next week. Sadly, Trinket won't be with us, but this has really been an interesting championship, and I think it's really going to get hot up as we are getting closer and closer to the end. But actually, we're not really that close. We've still got another couple of rounds, but yeah.
Well, we shall.
On that note,
Yes, on that note, thank you everyone, and good night.
bye bye.